Hello and welcome back. FBI Tugboat here with the man Novanta. We're looking at the Rally
Hey.
Cry Collegiate Series presented, of course, by the Army National Guard. We're through one of our best of three matches here on the day, moving on into the semifinals, Novanta.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we're looking pretty festive here. I know we're having a good time. We're only about to go into our second match of the day, and I, for one, am any more excited because they have the return of Neighbor, this time taking on Shellz.
Absolutely. We're getting to know Neighbor very well here. The second match back to back, we'll see them as we see Neighbor's push to go on into the grand finals if they get there. If they get it. They got to win this one. The writing on the wall is of course that the winner of this match does punch their ticket to the grand finals, right? Here within the qualifier. What that means, of course, is that they will get the opportunity to play seven other players, excuse me, for of course part of that prize pool and the ever so important ticket to the NFL draft held in Detroit, Michigan, coming up here in April. Let's talk about how these two players got here. You guys just saw Neighbor put down Jordu. First game, 17-10, a little bit of back and forth. Second game, an absolute shellacking. Who I want to talk about right now is Shellz, though, Navanta.
Shellacking, I love that word. Yeah, Shellz actually had to go through a like challenge, taking on Tiki Men playing with America's team. Do we still call it that? No idea. The Dallas Cowboys. That's why they are in the semifinals now currently.
Yeah, very fair. What right before then? That was Shellz putting down SPX Man. So what? Tiki Man taking down SPX Man, taking down before that. Right before is Ferraro that Shellz was able to win right there. Let's take a look. Get into this one. We're done talking about the past. Let's talk about the future. What can we expect in this Bills versus Bills matchup, Navanta?
We're seeing one half of it based on our last series. Neighbor has been very, very good at using the running game to push those chains moving forward. But so at the same time, there is an untapped defensive strength Buffalo has. And I hope if I'm Shellz, that's what I'm going to lean on. I want to find a way to be my pace in this upcoming matchup.
Yeah, so taking a look here, seeding, right? Shellz, what, beats 14 seed, beats 3 seed, beats the 6th seed, and now coming in against the 2nd seed. Shellz looking at a little come from behind victory, right? The underdog story here for Shellz coming into what could be their push into the grand
Yeah,
finals. So, talking about these two teams a little bit more. Unlocking James Cook and the potential right there, especially once clock becomes a factor, going to be a massive thing. But given that both of these players are playing the same team, they know what players like Stephon Diggs can do. They know what tight ends like Dawson Knox can do.
Yeah, I think it comes down to the ability, but then how do you execute them, right? Because if you know what you can do, what your opponent can do, it's very easy to put bodies there to make their job a little bit difficult or challenging, but really was the variety being the spice of life. Once you had Neighbor in that last series, understanding what options weren't going to be used, it was easy pickings for them to concentrate the defenses. So it really comes down to who's more creative and how the variety of those target options are on offense and on defense.
Yeah, so two big takeaways here from the previous game. First, the player who generally incorporates all of the star power on their team, and not so like obviously players like Stephon Diggs are going to draw defenders, right? They're going to draw attention from a defense. Now, moving that ball around, using your checkdowns is going to be the name of the game. That's how Neighbor got to this position thus far. But moving the ball around in general, just spreading the ball around, not just between runs, RPOs, and of course passes is going to be the team that comes out here. And obviously the flip part of that is defenses, being able to read defenses. Neighbor was just doing a better job of reading this Kansas City defense frequently and then calling the necessary audibles right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think it was a really amazing ability Neighbor did, is just trying to like basically shoot themselves, shoot in the dark, and then when they found out a way that worked for them to double down, blood and water, whatever analogy you want to use, that we haven't seen Shellz on stream today, but you're seeing the kind of strength of competition that's been able to be dispatched from Shellz. You got to understand a lot of that DNA must be in them as well. So it really comes down to who's willing to circle your opponent quicker, figure them out quicker, and exploit their weaknesses, almost like Mega Man. You know?
Hey, there you go. There you go. Who's going to have the Mega Man play here in the semifinals? The difference here as well, of course, is that Shellz finished their game a little while ago, right? Neighbor, Jordu finished just about 15 minutes ago. That was also on stream, though. So what you're talking about is Shellz that has got a look inside of the player here that was using that Buffalo Bills offense and defense. They've looked at this and seen what Neighbor really prefers to use within, if, of course, they tuned into the stream, which definitely should have.
Yeah, that's what comes down to having pure skill, right? You can get lucky, you can have lucky wins, but the whole world can see how you do it. If the whole world can see your work, show your work, then you have to be able to have those mechanics on point. So don't look for trick plays, no more flea flickers. We're going to have ourselves a good old route momentarily.
To show your work, we're going to be looking at the homework here in just a second as we hop on into the field. Buffalo Bills taking on this squad. I really, really am looking for the player who is able to incorporate this running quarterback as well. Yeah, we're really trying to find like just minor differences between play on these two, and given that we haven't seen Shellz right quick yet, might be a little bit more difficult endeavor.
Yeah, I mean, difficulty be one of the things that will be hopefully something you can see, identify, and conquer as the game rolls on. And you don't want it to have it snowball almost like an avalanche situation. But I do think that is the number 1 priority for them as it is right now.
100%. First play of the game sets the tempo, sets the pace for the rest of this matchup. Both of these players going to be known that a solid, pretty amount of cash right here is going to have plenty of effect on these players' called plays. There's the fake Shakir yet again to the outside. So Neighbor continues the love for Shakir.
Yeah, definitely. I wasn't expecting to see that happening so early, but if it definitely works, then definitely do it. And I mean that most definitely. 3 times, I mean that with emphasis for a reason, because if it works, keep on going with it.
I'm not sure what Navant is trying to say here, guys. I'll let you parse that out. Look at nice little play out the outside. Yeah, so the tight end, Dawson Knox, going to be able to grab this one for a short play and a little bit of yardage. Josh Allen, he's stepping back yet again. Audibles upon audibles here is, this is pretty, yeah, pretty evenly distributed coverage as well in the defense.
Even coverage, and I was just about to say there's maybe a pre-caster curse. I was like, if there was a heat map, I'd say it was more of the left side, more than the right side. But even before I said that, it went the other direction.
Yeah, Neighbor read that one perfectly. Another first down, or first down, I guess, of this game so far, moving them chains, making those guys work, even virtually. They're going to have James Cook in the back with Josh Allen, maneuvering everywhere, painting the picture of Picasso on the football field right now. Allen got all the coverage in the world just to check down to James Cook, and that's going to be enough for 5.
Looks like everyone was kind of waiting for that sort of a Hail Mary 15-yard pass, but hey, if a 6-yard pass can be seen as a surprise trick play, then why not? Coverage is pretty much lax right off the snap.
I hear you. I mean, it just seems like defenders, I mean, they're not really playing man coverage right now, obviously in 2024. That is a little bit more passe, right? But saying it, keeping attention to James Cook is going to be the name of the game, because he has been wide open twice in a row now.
Yeah, I was able to sit here and be an old man waving at the cloud or screaming at the cloud saying, why not go for the scramble? But hey, you got, what, 15 more yards and a sea of blue? You find a way to get a catch? Great.
Okay, we have run the same exact play 3 times in a row. Josh Allen is 6 for 6. I'll let you guess how effective this is.
2nd and goal? Enough said, right?
Seriously. Elam as well. That was the star player. A couple of fantastic plays on the defensive, couple of punts messed up right there, one for the full-on scoop and score. Utilizing this Elam player here on the left side, you see right now, going to be a fantastic move. And I've called this a decision that Neighbors had to make. Doesn't seem like there's any decision whatsoever. It even skips the huddle.
Well, this right here has to be a chance to score, because if it isn't, I don't know, man. I really feel like there's chopping at the bit there from Shellz to get that ball.
Pass out. Shakir's gonna get it, and oh no, excuse me, that was a broken up play. Turnover on downs. It looked like to me that he'd secured it.
Yeah, well, looking at the ref, it says play on. I thought for sure it was going to be a national flag situation, but guess not. Turnover on downs.
Yeah, obviously, anybody watching this for their first time, Madden's obviously, Madden, especially Madden 24, is a little bit more so like, a little easier on the flags. You're not going to see your officials tossing that yellow flag out their pocket pretty frequently within the game and whatnot, right?
Boo! No, I'm just kidding. More rules, more rules. Yeah, man, Smash Mouth, kind of like backyard school rules. Why not? Makes it even better.
Now, Shakir, this is a 4 or 5 yard play, but this is a lifetime in the fact of now Josh Allen does not have his feet planted on some solid blue, not in the end zone right here. A little bit more wiggle room. Now, square, that's going to be open as gets, as Diggs gets. No, excuse me, getting underneath it, and that's an interception. I thought he had it.
Well, the play was drafted pretty well. It was only a couple stops back, and you thought it was going to be the big play that need to get out of that. But just like that, we're going the other way.
Yeah, so a little bit more mustard on that hot dog, and that probably would have gotten to Diggs for a big play right here. But a turnover on downs, and Neighbor gets another opportunity.
An absolute lifeline, and that's
Oh,
almost
boy.
squandered. What a sack. I was going to say, you don't get opportunities like that to score first, and, well, plays like that's going to make it even more difficult.
Fine for the potatoes. There's the sack right there. Allen's going to be feeling that one. Again, what the overall wear and tear on players is a little bit different than in real life as well. Davis, Gabe Davis, the star, 7 for 8 on 95 here for Neighbor. Almost perfect for 100 yards here in the first 4.5 minutes.
Right in the middle of the commute of the hot route, making sure ball in hand, going the other way.
Sweet.
Oh my goodness! There's the first touchdown, man. Yeah, Buffalo White.
Threading the absolute needle here. That'll be enough for 6. Coming up here for 7. Perfect hold, perfect kick. Now Shellz is going to be going down in the first quarter.
Now I'm kind of torn here because, frankly, yeah, I do think Neighbor deserved to score first, but they got stopped and it went the other way. But it was a choice interception, giving them another lifeline in the first, which I think was going to happen, but the results the same. Maybe we all live in a multiverse there, Tugboat.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Okay, can I switch up certain aspects of my life then too?
Oh yeah, you probably have a goatee
Right.
somewhere.
I'm 9.5 feet tall.
Oh wow. Andrew Cassick in the booth. How big is the booth?
There you go. Right. I'm about to like sit like crisscross applesauce if I wanted to sit next to a caster and not be taller than them.
Breaking news. In any event,
Yeah,
Shellz.
32-year-old has growth spurred up to 3.5 feet taller than what he is.
I'm a grown
crazy.
boy.
Ooh, across the body, and oh man, Diggs gets another, just one more foot down. That is a caught ball and a first down.
How do you sidearm a 40-yard pass like that? That's just robotic. What?
Josh Allen.exe, I swear. Right across the middle, but pressure gets there, and Neighbor's defense is showing up just like his offense was.
Yeah, it was interesting. I thought Shellz was the one to really show the defense flashes first, but so far it's all Neighbor, and I guess that there's no fatigue of playing a series on stream. They seem to be rocking and rolling.
Absolutely no fatigue whatsoever here. They're just absolutely rolling on down the field. Allen again across the body, and Diggs going to be able to get in front of this one this time. 2 for 5, and that's going to be 38. That's going to be the lion's share of their 38 yards. Yeah, 32 of 38 on that pass.
Not sure if that was going to be just a plus of just faith or that was the way it was drawn up, but at the last gas, almost below the knees, below the belt there, catching the ball to make sure it's a completion.
First quarter, scoreless here for Glogla Shellz. Neighbor going to be able to put up 7 with a mild lead. Coming into the second quarter, is there anything that Shellz needs to change, you think, on offense to go forth, put 7 on the board?
Yeah, I like that understanding of seeing what they have downfield. I know you want to get those yards up, but I would try to step us a little bit into the pocket, maybe not go to the shotgun as much, even though it seems to be the meta here for this tournament, to really see what your options are for those plays.
Think about the shotgun. Oh, Cook gets this one. That was number 13. Oh, was this a strip fumble? It was!
Oh.
Neighbor's defensive prowess continues to shine bright.
Oh, that is just bad luck. You know, Neighbor had so many of these kind of plays in the last series, but the ball was glued to Cook's arms, but didn't go the other way. Oh, what was that? That was a forearm to the chest. Ref,
Yeah,
what is going on out there?
It was a punch straight to the chest right there. Boxing match between these two players in the middle part of the field. That is going to be the turnover, the second for Shellz.
Yeah, you know what? If I got one of that, all I did was drop a football. I'll be the strongest guy in the field. Wow.
They just punch players. Is that allowed now? Cook now out to the left side. Going to get just shy of the first. No, going to get the first down plus.
Well, you asked me before the turnover that what you can do if you're Shellz in the defense, and I know just having bad luck is something that you can't really avoid in the game. But yeah, I'm all about those short, secure runs and really try to drop back every so often and not put yourself in a position like that going the other way.
You're going to be able to get this one out, so no sack, but loss of down here for the Josh Allen controlled by Neighbor. Shellz, like you said, I mean, it's so tough to try and predict that things like that is happening. I feel like that's more so the prowess of Neighbor within the game of Madden 24 to have the, the state of mind to like go up here and immediately make that defensive play, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of, sometimes you say it's not your game or not your day, but either way, it's all about the mental game, right? Get yourself locked back in. And despite the loss of giving up that first down, there's a bit of good coverage. That might be a sign of things to come if you're Shellz there to see what you can do to get yourself in this game.
Neighbor already burning time off the clock. We're like, yeah, this is about 25 seconds, almost 30 burned off right there. Davis actually got around 2 and a little shimmy shake. No, a lot of shimmy shake. Almost got around Hyde as well. as that's going to be a fantastic run and set up a first down plus some.
Yeah, that's definitely worth a couple of style points there. Drawing the defense not once but twice is still maintaining possession. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Okay, Josh Allen gets forever today. Might as well as Reddit Nobble right back there. Knox is going to break up a tackle and get this one for another 6. Hey, look at that. A player not named James Cook is getting points.
Oh, yeah. Again, it was kind of spreading the wealth. That's the thing that people were not expecting based on your last series play. That's the thing you need to do. Blink of an eye, just barely in the second. It's now almost 14-0.
It's going to be 14-0. Point after attempt stays perfect for every player within our broadcasted games within this Rally Cry Collegiate series. Second quarter, 3:20. I mean, Shellz just literally needs to mix up where the ball is going. If it's getting handed off to James Cook or if it's getting tossed. I don't believe they attempted a rushing play on that so far, and Hardy gets drilled down at single digits. Brutal. 16 yards basically thrown into the garbage on the no fair catch.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about what Shellz has to do on the offense, especially when they haven't really had a full drive, to say the least, on interception and a fumble. But one of the things they can do is be more bold like that. You know, getting yourself in the game by hook or by crook is how it's done.
Exactly. And Josh Allen, again, real life in the game, got some legs on him, got some wheels, and they can turn people. It's going to be the first and biggest rush Josh Allen so far across several performances and several usages of the Buffalo Bills.
Well, thankfully that wasn't another fumble there, but it could have been close the way it was popped out. Just everything seems to be closing in. It's still early yet, but Shellz has not got a first gear out of the blocks in this one.
Fair, only gotten a couple of first down, a couple movage of chains, thrown this one out, wasted down, 3rd and 10 coming up for Shellz.
Yeah, I don't know what you do in the situation. I would probably try to go on the opposite side, maybe a little bit of a play action situation, but I don't know. It feels like it's running out of ideas if you're Shellz.
I have to agree, and this is from the gun yet again. No run attempted. Coming across, there you go. R1 blown coverage, and Shakir now for Shellz is going to be the playmaker of this second quarter.
Well, that's something you don't want to do, right? You got the 14-point lead. You don't want to give your opponent a lifeline, because even though 3 touchdowns is not insurmountable, so having it so early is enough to really make your opponent doubt yourself. That blown coverage could be a pivotal moment to get Shellz back in the game.
There you go. Wide open yet again. This is Stephon Diggs sometimes, the secondary, giving up 40 yards in the past 2 plays.
Not good. I'll probably have him run laps tomorrow.
We absolutely. Do virtual laps within Madden count as punishment, right?
You got a button mash, and yeah.
I love that. 2-minute warning here in the first half here, folks. Shellz staring down the barrel of the end zone and red zone here. I guess not technically, given that they're on the 21, but they will be there soon, barring any bad luck or fantastic defensive play. A hook play there for Square, but yeah, again, it's just all the pressure in the world. The offensive line here for Shellz' Buffalo Bills not reigning supreme in the same way that Neighbors did.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. Force the throwaways. And again, props to Shellz for having the wherewithal to throw it away. But the one thing Neighbor can't do is make Shellz score on this particular drive.
Let's play again. Single defender, single rusher up the middle, and another sack. Dodson putting on a performance on defense so far with his second tackle in the first for a massive loss. This is now forcing a Shellz big bomb situation, and another defender right up the middle across the body. Deflected the last second.
Yeah, you're lucky that was going to be another interception. I was about to say, that's bad luck and it's worse luck. 3rd and 23. That's like NFL blitz numbers. You either got to throw it away or take it up yourself, and throwing it down right downtown is not the way to do it.
100% feel you. Going for it in the last few seconds of the last 90 seconds, of the second quarter here. Big bomb necessary. You do not have a play after this one. Audibles upon audibles. This is a heavily loaded left side of the field. Even Cook has moved over there as well. Coverage evenly sparse, though. Big slants up, and that's going to be the easiest picks of Neighbor's career.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about, trying to be a hero. It's the second quarter, get the punt off, but hey, look, 4th and 23, get something on the board. You rushed it, and now you're looking at yet another interception. Shellz is in a world of pain right now.
100%. 100%, especially given what you nixed that sack on the previous. Josh Allen gets the ball out, and they're looking at like 4th and 10, 4th and 12 or 13, excuse me. Then, well, you're actually talking. Oh my goodness, Elon, the star defensive player, went the wrong way there for a second, but another pick this time going the way of Shellz. And this is a back and forth game so far. The writing on the wall is that Neighbors, gets ball back, maybe come down, get a field goal, even get a touchdown, push this to a much higher. Now Shellz is spitting distance away from this end zone.
I love the interception, but that hesitation when the camera spins around costs them a couple yards, if not the score. Unfortunate, the nature of the game there. Good work either way.
You have 100% of a point. Just a tiny pause in momentum going that way may have actually cost him 6. Now, a rush play with no advantage, no yardage gained on this one. Still plenty of time on this clock, and timeouts will be utilized coming into the next ensuing plays. Allen back, Cook right behind him, pass off there, gets up to the line of scrimmage and maybe a little bit more. Yeah, an extra yard on top of that, Novanta.
Well, you know what? I like the fact that they're able to go back to the tried and true to move it just a little bit closer. But again, talk about you have to score, and you definitely have to score there.
Oh, out. Diggs gets it, and now we have a one-score game, my friend.
Stephon Diggs shows up for the Buffalo Bills, much like how soldiers in the Army National Guard show up for the community, state, and county when they need it the most. Learn more at nationalguard.com.
That's how you tie in a read, people. That's how you tie in a read. That's how you get co-casters like Novanta, folks. Point after attempt stays perfect, and Shellz is back in this game in every way, shape, and form.
And thank goodness, because the last thing I wanted to see was a blowout, right? Especially the way it was happening. It wasn't like you're getting beat with plays. It was like interception, fumble there. Finally, some even ground, almost for Shellz.
Fair catch called right there. And yeah, I gotta agree. This is actually not a foregone conclusion in the first half as well. Shellz just showed what they can do on defense. Just showed that they can place defensive players in position, make big plays, get picks, and Neighbors not exactly in a good field position as of right now, starting the 25.
Absolutely not there. This could be the start of a pendulum swinging the other way, or coming down to see what the resolve Neighbor has. But either way, I like the fact that only one touchdown really puts a whole new wrinkle on things.
Yeah, rush play designed here for Neighbor to burn off this clock. Shellz used the first of theirs with no advantage gained on the previous James Cook run. Now a heavily loaded right side. James Cook offers the defensive positioning, and Knox gets out to the 3rd inches right there. No timeout called for Shellz on this. That's a lot more time burned off.
Yeah, brilliant heads-up play. I think everyone was kind of expecting the screen, but going right up the middle, over the top, that's what's done. Gets himself a little bit more position. There's another one there. Knox in duplicate. Finds a way to get the first down.
Back-to-back receptions here for Knox as the chains get moved. 35 seconds right here as the last timeout for Neighbors does get consumed. This is a slant play to the outside to try and get some yardage, get your receiver to the outside, and stop this clock.
Imagine this was going to be a blowout. It'd be a different kind of wrinkle, different kind of form, but still, you see a little bit of urgency there from Neighbor. That pass had to be completed, and it was.
There you go. The hurry up right here. Quick spike. 16 seconds will be their reward here. So you got probably 2, maybe 3 more quick plays here for Josh Allen, the Neighbor Buffalo Bills. And no touchdown should yield, as I say that, Neighbor's been gambling for so far, should yield a field goal.
In most situations, it will get yourself a field goal, but we've seen so many things going for broke here, even when broke doesn't need to be gone for. So, hard to tell.
100% right. This is also the first game right here, so a lot more gambles will be taken. Defensive coverage is there. Bomb out to the corner, and Shakir gets 2 feet down, and another Buffalo Bills touchdown.
Oh my goodness. Any coach would be having a heart attack. It was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? There's no way. Oh my goodness. Let's celebrate. Right late in the first half. It's 20-7.
Wait, no, please, defender. One more step. No, please. No, Shakir's going to be ahead. Gets to the corner, and a little bit more. Extra point attempt coming in, and no, not perfect. Our first point after attempt whiffed right here. This could come in and actually mean so much, right? Because 2 scores for Shellz means a 21-20 game.
Yeah, you talk about early enough, you talk about time of getting leads evaporated, but there's a chance to really clamp down on your opponent's neck, and you missed it. Pretty embarrassing. You're asking me.
Gotta agree here. 11 seconds to go. You try a couple bombs for Shellz. I mean, there's been a laundry list of picks already in this.
Yeah, I mean, you want to get yourself a bomb in there, but you really want to make sure the defense doesn't see it coming. So I would run the ball twice and probably do something on the outsides, kind of like a use situation or streak situation, but
Hmm.
don't go there first.
Couple of timeouts as well. Not going to use it on this one. 4 seconds burned off, so maybe 2 more. If you can get quick balls out, 3 seconds apiece, get to the outside, stop the clock, or utilize that timeout. Not 100% sure what Shellz is thinking right now, but it's got to be one of those things.
You know, I said it before, but flea flicker, baby, flea flicker, flea
Oh,
flicker.
I'd love it. I'd love it. Knocks right across the middle. First down and more. Timeout called? No, just going to go all the way down to halftime.
Not sure what's happening there. Got the reception and pause for photographs. Okay.
That would be an NFL player in 2024, dude. Like, it really, really would.
Pose to the grab, baby. Halftime.
Halftime now. Adjustments coming in for both of these Buffalo Bills squads. This is going to be Neighbor receiving, if memory serves.
Shellz feeding.
Oh, yeah, you're 100. Yeah, obviously it says Neighbors has the ball because they just kicked it off. Sorry about that.
Ooh.
Fair catch? No. Okay.
Okay.
Party just maybe trying to gas the players on the other side a little bit. Make them run down. Make them run to me, and then I'm going to put the knee down.
I love that. I'll do it. I'll do it. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just messing around.
I'll bring it out. I'll do it. Don't tell me I won't do it. Shakir, the outside, breaks one up and then spins in for a first down as well. You know, we know names like Dawson Knox. We know names like Gabe Davis. We know names like Stephon Diggs and James Cook. But it's Shakir is the name that you and I are saying over and over again for a reason.
Oh man, the ball got dropped. He got dropped. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. I do think the new cast of characters is expansive, which is a good sign for both these Bull sides to really get more people involved, to really make sure that we can't really call what the next play is going to be.
And just the unpredictability there is showing up on both sides of this defense. But obviously, Neighbors so far doing a little bit better, in that endeavor. Much time burned off there on the previous. Neighbor and the Buffalo Bills. 33 right now, not too far away for some scoring potential. The cut across the middle. Diggs gets there again. Attempted strip opportunities there, but nothing happening. Was that a timeout?
I believe so. Yeah, I was going to say that I thought it was going to be stripped on the way down, but held on to the possession. I mean, we move up a little bit further. Best chance we see in a while there for Shellz.
Yeah, they got nothing right now. Trying to get back to it. Crossbody, inaccurate pass. Player not there, and this is just a blown up offensive play. Take it to second.
Not sure what was going on there. Probably throw the ball away at that point, but hey, look, good thing no one caught that one.
Look, gonna grab the rock here, get out for a yard. 3 rushes for 2 yards. Not exactly a great stat line, Novanta.
It's kind of
0.66 yards per.
Yeah, it's pretty abysmal. I was going to say that was pretty much a yope-a-dope kind of play to make sure your opponent knows what's not coming next, but what happened next was a sack, so I'm not really sure if I called it right.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Another pass play coming up here. No field goals attempted. Personally, 10 is just so much more reasonable than 13, and that's not going to be enough. The quick play to the inside for the first down attempt. It's nothing, and Neighbor's going to get the ball back with terrible field territory.
Yeah,
Position, excuse me.
why would you not go for the field goal, man? I mean, look, it's still the third.
I guess there's no glory in field goals these days.
There's no glory in touchbacks, but but field goals, yes.
Ain't that the truth?
No, come on, man. Get yourself on the board, get yourself even closer.
Blame the officiating crew, or not the officiating crew, the rules committee for that one, because I get it, you want players to be safe, but there's definitely better ways to do this. Josh Allen now takes off again, dude. Analysis paralysis, right? Josh Allen sitting in the pocket with nobody near him, takes off a half a second sooner. You're talking about 15 or maybe even 20 yards.
Yeah, absolutely. That club in the back of the head to stop him, but yeah, it could be a lot more.
Ooh! There's one player out. It's a
man.
cross, but Lewis and teammate Douglas, I believe that was, able to get to him after the loss. Okay, so we're going to concede defeat on game number 1 right here. Shellz just kind of reading the writing on the wall a little bit. It
I
is
gotta be
back. There you go. There you go. Just had the camera on standby mode for a second.
Yeah, I was a little sad you were gone, man. I was gonna cast by myself, but you're back, baby. No, here's the thing. That last play, can I talk about you for a second? If you are Shellz, and I know the game wasn't your favorite or your best, but you know that it was gonna be a deep draw out and juke. It's something that's a pattern we see. We're talking about level 2 boss AI, and you let that happen again, then yeah, you broke your own ankles, bro. Maybe you should concede. No offense, get it back. Game
Yeah,
2 could be all you, but this one is pretty much lost for you.
I got to back up your point there, Navanta. We're not trying to be too negative, but especially when players out here in the outside of the field is 2 yards away. You spin that way, you're just going to be outside, and that's going to be the same exact result. Spin inside should have been the more easily read thing. Not that that was like a deciding factor within the game, but obviously a deciding factor within Shellz and that mentality. 20-7 right there. Shellz was able to put up 7 in the second quarter, but decided it's better. Just give that one up in the third, push this to game number 2.
You know what? A lot of times in the comic book circles, we talk about like superheroes, and I like the Flash, and they would say, "Man, how do you defeat the Flash?" They say, "Oh, you can just hit him." This is no, he moves too fast. I was like, well, if you don't see it coming, then it doesn't matter how fast you are. I think this is exactly what happened with Shellz. We saw this regular competition they had going into this matchup. I think in any other time they would have a better first quarter. It didn't work out for them with those unfortunate turnovers, and there was no way to get their footing. So game 2 is crunch time, is gut check time for them, whether they have up their sleeves to even up the series.
Neighbors just doing everything in a bag of chips here, man. Business administration student out of Fort Valley State University out there in Georgia, I believe, has been doing just putting the thumb screws to their opponents so far. You can play Kansas City. You can even play the Bills. You can play my team, Neighbor says. And I'll still take you to town on this one. Game 2 coming up in just a second. Is Neighbor coming into this one? The second seed Neighbor coming in with the advantage. I gotta say, Shellz has been the giant slayer though, right? Like coming through, they beat everybody so far. It has gone from what, like a mild advantage in the form of like like 19 to 14th seed, not really that big a deal. But Shellz has beaten the third seed, SPX man, in the second game of these. And we got a little Philadelphia Eagles action. I love this. Maybe some tush push coming in. Boston Scott, the GOAT, bringing this one out. Now cutting into the inside a little bit, gets out to about the 21 originally, but tackled at the 14.
Yeah, I mean, no, Boston Scott slander will not be allowed on the stream, but I always gotta say, changing a team in the middle of a matchup may be copium. I do a lot for a lot of games, but hopefully you got better fortunes for Shellz. And you mentioned about Neighbor coming out of Georgia at Fort Valley State University. Guess not using the Falcons, sticking with the Buffalo Bills. We got the Bills, we got the Eagles here in game 2.
I'd love to see that. Neighbor just so confident running the Atlanta Falcons. Check it out. Who's throwing the rock down there? Would love to see it. Would love to see it. Philadelphia,
though. Belichick? What?
That would be amazing. That would be truly amazing. And if Belichick goes down there and does what he does and goes in forth and has winning seasons, I think that kind of solidifies and stops the question of, like, is he really the GOAT coach?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just not the question right now, but that's besides the point. Shout out to Mac Jones. But yes, anyway, besides the point, we have ourselves another attempt, and that was a first down. Look at that. We're seeing a little bit more explosive offensive moves, and we're headed down to the 40, it seems. Oh, wow, what a run.
Yeah, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith for the Philadelphia Eagles. If we'd had a little bit more time to preface this, I would have kind of talked about this a little bit, because if on the other side you're looking at Gabe Davis and oh man, Gabe Davis. I had his name on the tip of my tongue. The other receiver for the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, well.
Stephon Diggs, excuse me, Stephon Diggs. Sorry about that. If you put these two up, like at a comparison between A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, there is not a comparison. This is the Philadelphia wide receiver 1 and 2, which is much more of a competition as far as who is 1 and who is 2. Also, I mean, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, both of these guys got wheels on them. I think we've all seen that video of Jalen Hurts benching, I think it was 650 pounds in college,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely a beast, but I think the other thing too, even though we're playing in London, we're at the Eagles' home territory. I think that comes with a buff as well. So got to see what kind of different games we have, but it looks like they've been absolutely untouchable in the run so far in the first.
Take that back. That was Jalen Hurts benching 600 pounds in high school, okay? It was a minor. Benching 600, or not benching, squatting 600 pounds, not benching. That would be insane. That'd be insane.
I don't think I've ever squatted that much.
I don't think I could squat that much if you gave me 10 attempts at 60 pounds or 100 pounds or something like that, dude. Insane.
Yikes.
Absolutely insane. Oh, and also I love how this is like developed a narrative of the tush push actually being possible now, right? Because you have somebody with like hamstrings made of steel. That's a fumble in the end zone. Oh my goodness, Jalen Hurts takes a risk up the middle, and that's Neighbor and the Buffalo Bills scooping it up in the end zone.
Oh, this is kind of unfortunate to say the least. I was going to say that Shellz and the Eagles have had the speed to match the Buffalo Bills and Neighbor, but that's the fortune in the first game, is the fortune in the second game. Untimely interception in the first.
Yeah, you know what? Jalen Hurts just had to hold the football with his thighs, with those 600-pound squatting thighs, and then he'd been all right. It's because he held it in his hands that he fumbled. Big
Side
bomb,
guy.
Shakir. Ooh, almost cuts on the inside. That's going to be the largest pass play of the Buffalo Bills. Well, really, of either of these teams. Of course, this is the first real offense for the Buffalo Bills. Not the first real offense, is the first offense.
Curse that collision detection. I don't think going to be inside cut was going to be the first touchdown going the other way. But just like that, we're already on the other opponent's half. Here's an opportunity in the end zone. Oh, wow. That could have been an interception or a touchdown. You take your pick, but it's still 0-0.
Take your pick. I see what you did there, Devonta. I see what you did. A little wordplay here from my co-caster.
Hey.
That's Shellz now with an awesome opportunity, but the thing is the defenses on both sides have been showing up, right? The forced fumble of Jalen Hurts here after I just pouring lauds and congratulations upon that player, fumbles in the end zone. Back the other way, that is just shy of a pick here for Josh Allen and the neighbor-controlled Buffalo Bills. Speaking of defense, there's a sack as Julius Evans comes in for a big one. Julius Evans? I can't. I'm so bad at remembering defensive players' names, man.
I hear you. But either way, though, it does feel like a different kind of energy here in the second game, especially we're playing a 1.5 speed. And what a dive go to absolutely nowhere. Showboat into the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo.
There you go, Gabe Davis. That defender did that look like in the cartoons when they throw somebody out the door.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what it's like. Hey! Like, he had so much power going forth, but no like momentum. It wasn't able to get even like close to Gabe Davis on that one. And I think this is indicative of how this game is going so far. So far, it has been defenses showing up in spades, right? Then a single blown coverage yields to 7 points on the board.
Right. I got to say this. I think on paper both teams are evenly matched. I have never seen anyone with such consensus bad luck as Shellz had so far. I mean, giving up that interception in the end zone, giving 20 yards, a little bit of an inch there for Buffalo, and it took the whole mile taking it to the house, and now you're down by 7.
Yeah, it's still a completely doable game. This is a back-and-forth performance so far. Shellz now coming in with their second drive of this competition. Folks, in case you're just joining in, this is a best-of-3 between these two. Neighbor was able to take game number 1 at a 20-7 scoreline after Shellz realized the writing on the wall and did concede wisely after those pretty much unsurmountable. Swift's going to be getting them involved. Hurts is 4 for 4 on 66.
Yeah, being able to concede in tournament play is something that purists argue about, but sometimes you need that extra time, and there's first down there. Speaking of time, sometimes you need that extra time to really rally your thoughts in a new strategy. We saw a brand new team, and with that comes a brand new playbook.
Absolutely. I love the switch, right? They say don't fix it if it ain't broke. Well, this was broken last game. Now they have fixed it. Now the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Bills are looking much better. Eagles also with that home field advantage.
Yeah, it's kind of like night and day, though, huh? I really felt like there was kind of a respect for each other when it was a bit of a mirror match, and now it seems like these two fast-paced, smash-mouth swallows are going at it.
Second and inches, and Hurts does not get there. 600-pound thighs notwithstanding. Another attempt.
His thighs are 600 pounds. What are you doing?
That's fair. 600-pound lifting thighs are very, very good points. That'd be hey, this is Madden. You could make Jalen Hurts look like he has 600-pound thighs.
I was about to say, that's a totally creative player. Giant yams. Yeah.
Love it. Oh, that's what we should do. Jalen Hulu now has live sports Hurts. Or you saw that commercial, right, where they used his last name within the thing. So wonky. I always thought that was like a little bit weird. Like you're lending your last name for like an ad joke. I don't know. What do I know?
What do we know? We're just casters.
It's true. Brown, number 11, getting out to about 6 yards up. Last play of the quarter coming in just a second.
Well, how cool would it be that on this drive we have ourselves the first score to make it a tie? Get what a late hit, jeez, a tied game.
Hmm.
But I do think you don't want to rush it either. I mean, that's what happened the first time we had in that red zone. Last thing you want to do is say, "Hey, look, I want to score as quick as possible." Take your time, make sure it's an even game, and somehow get ahead towards the end.
Yeah, this is it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? Uh, you wouldn't know that looking at Gabe Davis on those 7 points earlier, but I promise, guys, it's a marathon, not a sprint. I think Shellz has not just realized that, but has played it pretty well. Hurts tries to get past one, only gets up for a single yard.
Yeah, well, it was a pretty yard though. I liked it. It looked great.
I'll just phone Jalen Hurts and let him know you said so. Swift right up the middle. Number 0 gets 7, something like that, even after contact. DeAndre Swift, the former star of the Detroit Lions, an underutilized player on the Eagles, perhaps so far. I mean, the guy can also catch balls very well, but it's going to be Watkins right across the middle, the wide receiver 3 showing up here.
Yeah, definitely.
Somebody we haven't gotten something we haven't talked about is the Dallas Goedert tight end effect, right? This
Mhm.
is not even a single throw to him so far.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of been like an ongoing theme here, and I know last series it was kind of a comedic effect about you're kind of surprised about who the targets are going to be, and yeah, it makes our job is a bit more interesting, a lot more fun. But you wonder if it's kind of a thing where it's kind of like the lack of faith in that player as a player, or is it kind of a strategy where you feel like your opponent thinks you're going to go there, so you're trying to outwit them? I would
Yeah.
love to have that insight that I've had a chance.
I get you. Like again, the effect the star power has on these, right? Right back on into it. That's Devonta Smith. This is the Shellz Philadelphia Eagles that started out this drive with a massive bomb to Devonta Smith. He had the escort, right? He had the Suburban in front of him, escorting him down the field as well to have allowed him to set up probably another, 12 yards after where he normally would have been contacted at.
This is why it's a team game, right? You really can't be a battering ram all the time, but you gotta love the assists from your teammates.
Absolutely, you do. Speaking of being a battering ram, this is Jalen Hurts doing his best impression of a battering ram for nothing as his advantage. No yardage gained on the previous and a play burned. Every player shifting across the line. Dallas Goedert, aforementioned tight end number 88, swinging way out. That's going to be the end zone, but that's going to be a pick from Douglas as he tries to bring this one out. Got plenty of space on the other side, and Buffalo sets up another offensive drive.
Yeah, on that previous play, the one where Jalen Hurts went down, I was kind of nervous because it looked like it was going to be a strip play. But getting no yardage there, again, appealed to the psyche, and there was kind of an effort to get something big. And you rush the play, you rush the drive, and now we're headed the other way once more.
Yeah, Devonta Smith stocks are rising. AJ Brown is sell. If it's not bolted, sell it because AJ Brown not only has just gotten covered, but also got easily picked off into single man coverage right there as well. 3.5 minutes or so left in the half here, as we're going to be seeing another Buffalo Bills offensive drive.
Well, again, you have the time at your display. There's only a one score possession. You don't have to do too much, but as I say that could have been an opportunity had that coverage been broken to go all the way to the house there once more. And it looks like it's all neighbor really as far as like who is in control and pace the game.
This is the Eagles that have allowed 0 rushing yards so far. Well, that's going to be pretty easy when a man named James Cook has not taken a single snap thus far, or taken a single snap, has not taken a handoff so far. Excuse me, has been present on the field thus far. Only passing plays here for Neighbor.
I want more running back QBs, man. That'd be kind of cool.
I would love it. I mean, yeah, Allen has not passed the line of scrimmage one single time with ball in hand. Cook now does for the first time here, first rush for 5 yards.
Yeah, they got lucky there. The Eagles did because he basically juked 2 of them and only left a person standing there twiddling their thumbs as a roadblock to bring him down.
I hear you. You shall not pass. The best Gandalf impression right there.
True.
Audibles and audibles. Looking like man coverage from the defense so far, and it is Cook. Yeah, he gets away from his coverage on the man, like the left side right there, and just cuts immediately right across his 3rd and inches, which I'm not going to call it a guarantee, but the way that Josh Allen wheels legs on that, James Cook wheels legs on that, should be a movage of chains here in just a little bit as we are staring down the barrel of the 2-minute warning.
A 2-minute warning, and even though only one score has happened thus far, it does feel a bit more heavier this go around for Neighbor and Shellz. Looks like Shellz has to figure out what they want to do without giving up possession. And if you're Neighbor, you got to get more on the board to really put this away.
I mean, yes, it's the score here that is 7-0. There is an actual, there is an actual advantage. But I feel like it feels like Neighbor is so farther ahead because of the defensive play that they had that was before, the Philadelphia Eagles end zone play,
Agreed.
right?
Agreed.
Look yet again. It's nothing. You can hear the commentators within the game obviously doing a much worse job than me and Novanta calling that accurate.
Yeah, I mean, he got like spine buster down, like straight up WrestleMania style. But yeah, not much of a gain there. And we're definitely on a superior commentary team.
Absolutely. 100% agreed. Hire us win NFL. Out to the middle. Dawson Knox barely brings that one in. Josh Allen remains with just one pass broken up.
I thought that was going to be a drop pass the way it was coming down, but able to recover it on the line is just helping the team to stay in this drive.
100% agreed. Moving the chains, that's what the Bills are about. And Neighbor picked up, trucked into the ground. 5 on 15 here for James Cook on the attempts.
I tried to do their own tush push oppression there. But, dude, that's going.
I mean, see, that's the thing. It's one of those things I feel like other teams could incorporate. We have seen like a little bit of that, but nobody does it better than Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. Opinion time. Do you think there's going to be changes to this, given that the defenders cannot push each other in the same way?
You mean the IRL Eagles, or you mean the ones here?
IRL.
I think they have to. I mean, oh, what a pass! Ooh. And there's Cook off to the races. There's no one around him. Touchdown, Buffalo!
Fantastic wow. Stuff. Again, zone coverage does not account for the running back, James Cook. And I've lost count of how many touchdowns James Cook has across these Buffalo Bills games so far on the broadcast here on the day.
Oh, wow, that was a good run. I thought it was going to be a drop pass, but right over any kind of opposition, and it was pretty much clear sailing.
Yeah, so no goal line, or no extra point attempt defense there. That was Shellz. That was Shellz.
Wow. Savage.
Yeah, my bad. That's what Neighbor can do with the smack talk later.
Yeah, if he's like 6. Hey, you smelled. Okay, anyway. Well, here's an opportunity here. Look, it's only the first half still, and I know that's what I'm saying. This game feels really weird because only 2 scores separate these 2 teams, but it does feel kind of insurmountable. Now more than ever, a play will behoove Shellz to get themselves on the board.
And now it's pressure too as well. Shellz is just not getting the ball in ideal situations, right? Previously, it was a not ideal play on the kickoff return. No fair catch right there yielded like a 9-yard start, right? Now we're looking at Shellz that is pretty much in a guaranteed pass play type situation with the outside, the out of bounds, the sidelines coming into play as well, because we're only looking at 42 seconds. Steps all the way back. Hurts surveying the field, up, over. A.J. Brown gets mildly interacted with, and that's going to be enough for a no catch.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, yeah, there's definitely mechanical advantages for Neighbor and company, and I'm not trying to say that. It's all been bad luck for Shellz, but it does seem like the game hates him right now.
It's entirely fair. Out. Zacchaeus does get to the outside, so the clock will stop with 30 seconds and a fresh set of downs for Shellz and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Again, about 30 seconds here in the first half would be pretty good to walk into the locker room with something on the board here.
Even if it's 3, I know that sounds like blasphemy so far on broadcast day because everybody's been going for it on 4th, but throwaway play right here. Defense gets to him, 9 for 13 now with 100 yards and an INT on Jalen Hurts.
Again, smart play. A lot of people or players don't throw it away in Madden. Good thing we're seeing that discipline here today, but it was actually chased like a cartoon. You don't want that to happen too often.
No, you do not. No, you do not. Again, Hurts can move, but doesn't look good when you have 2 350-pound defenders staring down your barrel. Swift, right there doesn't quite get the reception on the ball.
I thought it was going to be a catch, but again, it was such a tight squeeze. If that were to be the case, it'd be okay. It'd be forgiven if you dropped it.
3rd and 10, all the way outside. Devonta Smith gets a little bit of coverage as well, but can't quite get out there. They do have a timeout, though. So this is not a bad play. I would definitely take that extra 2-3 yards, especially given that Shellz is now within field goal territory. It'd be a long field goal, but they're within the territory.
Smart play. I do think they got a bit more than they were expecting on that one. Might as well see if you can use that to your advantage to get something on the board.
Speaking of, Goddard still being snubbed as of right now. A slant way out and guaranteed. He's not going to get it. That is going to be very lucky. That was not a pick play.
I think that's the understatement of the day. That was
Yeah,
I saw it going for a pick six easy.
if this was user interacted with, I definitely would have gotten that one up. Pressure gets in. Hurts gets the ball down and nowhere. 9 seconds left. You run one more play and you kick a field goal, right? Like, come on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
If you don't.
Shellz running out of chances and time to get yourself into the finals, so might as well. That's not what's done.
And with that fumble, we're on 4th and 25. The call is there, but this is, the 44 on the other side, meaning you have to throw a long ball, and this has to be a touchdown on this play.
I don't think you're going to have the time.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, yeah, definitely not. Swift looking good after breaking up a couple tackles, but if this was, say 12 seconds, he could have gotten to the outside. That is not the case. Neighbor looking into the second half here with a 14-point lead.
I just feel like you have sometimes plays in the pocket where Hurts has the wherewithal to throw it away, but then you have these plays they drop back 20 yards. You are putting yourself into a lot of risk. And good thing got recovered that fumble, or else that'd have been another interception.
That's fair, man. That's fair. It's like, bad or worse, right? Shellz obviously got the fumble recovered, and Neighbor, not in a sticky wicket situation, decides not to try and take this ball out, despite whatever Navonta may want.
I think you're the second American I've ever heard say sticky wicket. Like, do you play
sticky
cricket?
Sticky wicket. I played plenty of cricket in my time.
Okay, I don't know.
I'm totally kidding, dude. I'm totally kidding. Come on.
It's like, where'd you play with them? Yeah, sticky wicket indeed, man. I do feel like you're in that kind of up against the wall situation. I hate to say Hail Marys and hurting bombs, but now's the time.
Dude, you're 100% right. Other plays just simply haven't been working as much, and I'm not sure if Shellz is going to be content with continuously short passes. Cook gets around how many players?
That is 7 by my count. Cook was cooking there. See that slant, draw it out, and bring it back when you need to? That's a juke we didn't see coming, and it got them 10 more yards than we thought.
Yeah, and those are the kinds of plays that are going to separate Neighbor and Shellz, given that Shellz has just really not incorporated that swift rushing attempts thus far. Tight ends, Dawson Knox for Buffalo as well, getting incorporated whenever the necessary is, right? Dawson Knox is infrequently your very first. He's almost always a check down type option, but the bailout is almost always there. Back to Cook. That's a first down. Nope, it is not. Excuse me. 3rd and inches here for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, his legs went ways I didn't think it was actually natural in a real-life environment. And that was the reason why they didn't get the first down, but still a good run either way.
That's one of those plays we saw and realized, like, ooh, I don't want to watch. And then the NFL would be like, yeah, we're not going to replay that one, folks. But it is not the case.
Oh, yeah, but they'll show you a documentary in slow motion if you want to. And this is what happened.
It's the NFL's. It is what it is. They're very, very choosy about which stuff they show, and I think they show a little bit of favoritism. Like, oh, that was a good hit against this player. Well, we're not going to show it because we love him.
I know, right? So you never see my hits at all.
Yeah, they've never shown an FBI tugboat tackle. It's biased.
Right. That's why you're so upset.
Yeah, exactly, dude. They haven't shown one of my my absolutely trucking tackles in the NFL. It's just absolutely brutal, dude. The NFL is biased against an FBI tugboat.
Yeah, it's a crime, man.
James Cook, nice pocket. A cut over to the left side might have yielded a couple of more yards, but a 9-yard rush. Cook averaging 5 per 50 rushing yards on 10 attempts.
You definitely actually play that exact play in training. So
yes.
The fact to see it actually work in a game environment was pretty cool to see.
Another 3 here, 11 on the attempts, and there's no reason to hand the ball to a man not named James Cook. James Cook fumbled the ball in a game earlier. That is the only real deficit on their record here on the day. Keep this clock running, push it on in the 4th quarter here soon, maintain your 14-point lead, put another ball up. And I mean, 17 points is just always such like a clutch advantage to get to, right? You're not just talking about 2 scores, but it's the minimum amount of points you can put on with two touchdowns, extra points, and a field goal. Obviously, it puts yourself in that situation, right?
Yeah, that's why that field goal situation is the advantage tactically, but we're not really much for tactics here today, right? So while I agree with you, I also understand the idea of shooting for glory and making sure you go for it 44 points or something if you can.
No, like maintaining what you get 9 points. You have to score 3 times via 3 field goals, or what I guess a touchdown and a mixed extra point, and then a field goal right there. Getting it done here, scoring plays. Name of the game here for Neighbor and the Buffalo Bills. Cook gets out what, maybe 3 yards or so, and now the Philadelphia Eagles have what, 5 attempts in, have read this one, realized that Cook might be getting handed the ball.
This is a last gasp effort. If you allow the Buffalo Bills to score right now, that's personally the concession I feel.
Allen very comfortable as he rolls out, tries to get around. That's a massive sack, but the difference here for Neighbor and the Buffalo Bills, as opposed to Shellz earlier, this was not a sack that brought them out of field goal territory.
Yeah, it's still kind of interesting to do the whole running around like a Benny Hinn cartoon, just like throw the ball away, give them a chance.
No clown music played on this one as Tyler Bass puts this one to a 17-point game.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about making sure it's almost impossible to come out of, but 3-35, it looks that's pretty much the case.
Yeah, this is again 3-score territory. You got to get 2, even if you don't get the extra 2 points. It's going to bring you to a situation where you're pretty much going to have to kick an onside kick to have an attempt at getting this ball back, even with those 3 timeouts, Novanta.
And you know it's not a real 3:31 because that clock does run down irregularly. And so whatever you can do, it has to be now to get yourself in a position to have an opportunity to get the ball again.
Lots of streaks, as you see, projected on the play. Right across the middle, Zacchaeus does get involved. Number 13 right here for the Eagles, showing up. Time is right.
No time for huddles.
Wide open. Oh, no! And then Smith does not whip around to catch this one. Yes, he would have gotten hit quite immediately afterwards, but still would have been enough for first down plus more.
Interesting. Almost like he overran it and underran it at the same time.
That's a good way to put that, actually. Zacchaeus doing the same exact thing that Devonta Smith did earlier, but holding on to the ball.
Streak City, this one has to end up with a touchdown. It has to, or else the game is essentially over. Oof. Well, there's that.
I mean, see, that's the conversation. Like, if you don't get it, do you go for the field goal knowing that you're still in regardless, you're in 3-score territory, right? Do you go for the field goal, putting yourself then in 2-score territory for a tying factor, knowing that you're going to have to kick the onside kick regardless?
I mean, look, if it was 2:51 in real time in seconds, I would say yes, but we all know it's not the case when it comes to Madden. So it's hard to tell, man. It really is.
Goddard got this pass thrown too and was not able to keep control of it. Perhaps that's why Goddard does not being shown a whole lot of love on that one. I believe that was A.J. Brown getting targeted here, but Jalen Hurts not able to get this one out as the defense got to him yet again.
Yeah, 4th and 10 at the sack. I was looking for the pause, but we're going to go for it. Heart of a lion here for Shellz.
Absolutely. Swift gets put out to the outside. I mean, you have to go for this one. You have to go for this one. Zacchaeus catches it, gets right down to the ground. And this is so smart, right? You get down to the ground so that no player can come over and hit you hard and get this ball out of your hands, albeit risking, a flag.
Absolutely. I guess they're playing for pride now. Looks like the window for winning the game is closed. I think they're trying to get something on the board just for the whole sake of things, because this is pretty much Shell's last ditch effort here for the tournament.
You got to get this started, and you got to get it before the 2-minute warning to utilize this essential 4th timeout. Not going to happen. And Hyde takes this one, and we are going the other way. Just Jalen Hurts utilize those thighs to get down. Doesn't matter. We got a concede right there, and Neighbor will be one half of your grand finals, thereby punching a ticket through qualifiers. At this point, it's just a fight for 1st and 2nd.
I've never saw this happen where a play and a drive in the first quarter really dictated everything we need to see. A little bit of mechanical miscues, a little bit of unlucky, just random things in the game, and ultimately it was Neighbor in a convincing win. Even more convincing in the second win when it was a low-scoring affair. This one here was pretty much easy work for them.
Yeah, 100% true. That was 20 to 7 game number 1, 17 to 0. Obviously a 13-point deficit in game number 1, a 17 deficit in game number 2. With Shellz transferring as well to the Philadelphia Eagles, that I have to say seemed like it was just working a lot more so in the first quarter of that game as opposed to second, and then third. Obviously, we did not see much of the or not see the entirety of the board.
And that's kind of like the disadvantage of changing a team in the mid game, because you can do that. I understand there's a whole feeling to go another team, but you ask yourself, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Is it really a mechanical thing? Do I need to get better? Was the wrong team, wrong matchup, the game one versus game two? A lot more variables that way around. But either way, not take anything from Neighbor. It says a lot to be on this winning streak, and they move on. So props to them and their comprehensive win.
Absolutely. This is Neighbors punching a ticket to the potential of a little bit of money, as well as a shot at that ticket on over to the NFL draft in Detroit, Michigan, coming up here in April. Absolutely love it. Guys, we have one more best of three up on the docket here for you. And that is, of course, the grand finals. That's going to be Neighbor. And we're just figuring out exactly who will be facing them in that grand finals. Give us just a little bit of time. We're going to go to a very short break. We'll be back with you guys in just a little bit.
Our generation isn't turning away from the world's problems. Watch us fly ahead, rise to every challenge, and overcome anything. Watch us become the next greatest generation.